So let's discuss Charles Pratt. If you don't know who Charles Pratt is, he is a YouTuber, a mid 30s guy going through stage 4 cancer. And by the way, I've never made a video like this before. I've never had to expose anybody on my channel. I've never made any kind of content, anything like this before. But I feel obligated because I also feel wronged, and like, not monetary wise, I feel wronged emotionally. Like, I was invested for so long in this person and wishing them all the best, wishing them well, seeing their journey, going through their struggles, and thinking that this person, and I still think this person's pretty brave for, going on online and posting their struggles and their deformities and stuff like that they're having to go through because of cancer. So, and I don't want to take that away from Charles Pratt, but the end results of how this has played out is concerning. And I kind of want to go through a little bit of the timeline so people who may not know who he is, or people who do know who he is but haven't caught up through everything up till now, will know kind of who he is and what's going on. So he has been on social media, or at least I have known him on social media for probably about maybe a year, and I followed his story, watching his cancer kind of progress. And he had two channels, and I was on his first channel originally, and I think he lost access to it. So, and he then opened up a second channel, and so kind of following his progress there. And he's very, he writes beautifully. He actually speaks very, like in written form. He speaks very elegantly, and he is he's really good with his words and his writing, and how his vocabulary, as I'm struggling with my vocabulary, his vocabulary is very is very good. So he's kind of like will win you over with his personality, because he's very loving, caring for everybody, and that's kind of what brought everybody in and kind of made everybody kind of love him and adore him, and wished him wished him well. And as things progressed over the months, and he opened up a GoFundMe. He basically was asking for donations. I think maybe it was his cousin who opened it for him, or maybe cousin or sister, I'm not sure. Opened it for him, and he. And for those of you who did donate to his GoFundMe, I'm not saying everybody is going to feel like they got scammed, but a majority, or I should say even a majority, there is a significant amount of people who feel scammed from what I'm about to explain, or what I'm about to tell you. So over the last maybe week, we as a community, or his fans, have noticed his progression has kind of gotten a little bit more angry and a little bit more disturbing, as far as like, we think possibly there's like maybe hallucinations, or maybe he's seeing things or thinking things that are there that aren't there. I wholeheartedly believe that he believes it. We as a community have been trying to tell him, like, maybe this is the cancer getting into your brain, maybe this is like the progression stages of it. And I even was one of the people that wrote on his page asking him to go get medical help, telling him, like, look, this is, your personality has definitely changed in the last week. And he started writing things to advocate for, because I guess he knows people in the industry for, basically selling yourself for money. And so he knows others, and he used to do that himself, which he publicly states that on his channel. And he also had a, illegal, substance abuse issue as well. So, that he was struggling with, or he's recovering from, I should say. But, granted to him, he originally sounded like he was progressing, he was moving forward with his life, trying to do well for himself. Okay, but here's the problem. Over the last week, as he starts to change and get a little bit more angry and upset with his followers and fans, he starts to take it out on everybody, just kind of berating us, yelling at us, cursing at us. Listen, I understand he's going through some times and struggles, and he's going through medical issues that are probably affecting him. I get all that. I am very sympathetic to that. The problem I have with it is he has a double standard. Okay, so If you look him up in New York, and I'll post pictures and screenshots everywhere on here, if you look him up, you will see that he has a long history with the law. Okay. He wants to feel like he wants to make everybody think he's a victim of trafficking, for work, for pay, or trafficking. He wants people to feel like he's a victim of that. He may have been. I'm not saying he's not, and he very well could be. Even still, I don't know. But what I do know is that as an adult, you have an obligation to protect children. So if you're going to be in that industry, or if you're going to be around that, you don't lure other people into that. And that's kind of what he's in trouble for with the law. So I guess there was a 15-year-old that was involved, a male 15-year-old, and he basically was, well, you'll see on his record. And so I think those people who donated probably did not know this information and would probably not have donated to his cause, given that he has tried to burn down a house, arson. He has robbed a bank just within the last year or two, and there's images of that as well. He has Grand Theft Auto on his account, or basically the next day he did Grand Theft Auto. So he has a lengthy legal issues. And so to know that he did all that on top of the children, that he, and I see children like under 18, that he, was messing around with, I guess. My thing is, and I take it very personal, because I even say this on my own channel, like I came from a family that, from abuse as well. And my father, who was a police officer, abused me. And I have that in my 2 videos behind this one. You can go watch it and see my whole story. But so I take it very personal that he, as an adult, can make that decision. He knows right from wrong. He should know better than to mess with children. Even if he was being forced into all this stuff, you don't do that. Like, as an adult, you have a responsibility, regardless of who's forcing you to do whatever. No, you have an option or choice to stand up and protect a kid. So I don't condone that. And so because of that, I personally, I did not donate to his cause, but I did flag his GoFundMe page to try to help those of you who did donate possibly get a refund back. I am going to post the instructions and the link to the GoFundMe in my description, as well as the link to file a claim if you'd like to get a refund back. So you're going to probably need to have his GoFundMe link to be able to put into the claim itself. And you can write a description. I think it says, what are your concerns, or why do you want this refund back? You can either post my video, or you can just write out your own description. Because I'm going to be, obviously posting pictures and screenshots of his journey over the last couple of years with the law that I think manipulated a lot of us into falsely believing he is one way, when really he scammed about 400 people out of $20,000, and then he closed out his GoFundMe and just emptied out that account, from my understanding. So I'm not sure the inner workings of how GoFundMe works. But from what I've been told by others is that he has cleaned out that account and it's wiped out. So he is not accepting any more donations from that page. But just know, this is not the first time he's done this, though. He has asked for donations, and he's made multiple channels to try to start this up again. So I'm only making this not to embarrass him and not to, to shame him, even though, it's shame on him, but I'm not doing it for that reason. I'm doing it to basically bring awareness, because he has deleted all his videos. He has deleted his social media, and who knows, in a couple months he may bring it back up again. And I'm trying to make sure that this doesn't happen, that there's a record of it, so that way people do not get scammed out of $20,000 again. I just feel it's important to bring awareness to that. His followers, his fans, because they're probably wondering where he went, what happened, why everything got deleted. This is why. And so, it's not my place to tell everybody's business, but I also want to make sure people are not being misled and having their money go where they do not having their money go places that they're not fully aware of what they're putting their money into, what cause they're putting their money into. Because some of us feel that over the last few days, he may have used that money to go on a drug bender, like, like he's starting up again because his personality has changed so much and he's hallucinating. He thinks people are putting stuff in his milk while he's sleeping in a locked apartment. He thinks people are putting something in like his heater, like the air or something, because it's causing irritations in his eyes. He's hallucinating. He's thinking and hearing things, which could either be drugs, being up for too many days, or it could be the cancer. I don't know. I'm not a medical professional, but that's not for us to decide. But it's also very disrespectful the way he's been talking to all of us, treating us, the ones who have been advocately caring for him, wanting him to do well for himself. It's kind of heartbreaking that it has to end this way, because I really do wish him the best. I really want him to do well. And I really wish he hadn't done all this stuff, because I think he could have been very successful. He had so many people rooting for him, and it's just sad that it has to end like this. So that's all I want to say. And if Charles, sees this, I have no ill will towards anybody, and I'm not trying to make a spectacle or embarrass anybody. I just, I feel like honesty, and he could even maybe recover from this. Like he could make a video and just state all of his claims of why he did what he did. Speak up. Don't erase everything and delete everything and just shun everybody, and then just run off with $20,000. That's the issue. I think that's the issue that everybody's having, and the children thing. So those two things are just concerning. So that's all I have. Bye.